Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Oh That's Random Podcast, the podcast where we take a little time to explore the extraordinary and ordinary. Listen, be sure the first thing that you do, like, subscribe, share this information with this podcast, this show, with anybody that you love, anybody that would get a kick out of this. It's for somebody. It's for a lot of people. It's for a lot of somebodies. Listen, I am that guy, Nerdy G, your guy, the one and only. And here at Oh That's Random Podcast, like I said, we explore the extraordinary and ordinary, but also too we are a part of a bigger thing that's called Nerdy's Umbrella, right? On the channel, the YouTube channel. Like, subscribe and go share that as well. We have a ton of shows over there, right? We got Snack Time with Nerdy, your one and only, where we go to your local stores. We pick up a bunch of snacks and we try them out for you. We already got season 1 out. Season 2 will be out at a later time. Stay tuned to the channel. We'll let you know about that. But we also have the Red Cup edition of this, which is it's me, it's someone else, a couple of my friends, some of my, some folks some good people that I've met, and we have drinks. And what we do is we talk about it. We talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about. We have good conversations. We have a lot of, drink is flowing. So the opinions are not, what I would say, friendly. They're not friendly. They're friendly in jest, but they're not marketing friendly. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get some of those market dollars here. Listen, not only do I want that, but I also want you guys to, help us out any way that you possibly can. But also too, not only that, we have a brunch chick show. We also have CPT reviews. CPT reviews, ladies and gentlemen, CPT reviews is we review things, right? We review things, but we get to them when we want to. Some people want to be, I want to be the first one to review it, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you go and review something that's fresh out the box. Of course, everybody's going to think it's nice and shiny or whatever the case, but it's not what we do over at CPT Reviews. So check that out. That's all on the YouTube channel. But let's get to what we came to. You saw the thumbnail. You know what time it is. Listen, I am a big wrestling fan. I am a huge wrestling fan, okay? I've watched it. I come from the Attitude Era. I probably said that once or twice or 4 or 5 times before here on this channel. And I want you to understand something. I want you to understand this, and I want you to understand this good. I'm never going to shit on anybody's opinion, but I will challenge your opinion, and I will challenge you with questions that you have to ask for yourself. Not for me, because I know what I see, and what I see is what I see, and what you see is what you see. So here's the thing. I've been strolling through, and I've been hearing that, or I've been seeing, WWE doesn't know what to do with its black talent. They keep losing black talent. Black talent is not here. It's not there. It's not on the main roster. It's not. Let's stop there for a second. You brought up, I know some of you guys brought up Swerve. You guys brought up Sheldon Benjamin. You brought up Bobby Lashley and Mercedes Moné. Here's the kicker. Everything is a case by case, all right? And we know this, right? But also, right now with wrestling re-exploding the way that it is, here's the deal. Triple H has got on some of these press conferences and has told you he does have one of the hardest jobs that's out there right now. And that is right now, just if we think about SmackDown, Raw, and NXT, that's 6 hours of TV that they have to work every single week. There's no days off for Triple H. The talent is clearly now getting days off. We can see that. It is better conditions there now, and we can tell that. We can literally tell that because they're coming out saying it. We see them on their socials. We see how they are. The thought of that WWE doesn't know how to push his black talent is crazy. We've seen Bianca in WrestleMania. Just because she lost this year does not mean that, they had to ruin her streak. She won 4 freaking times. She's still young. She's still early in her career. That's one thing, right? So let's scratch that off, right? The Undertaker thing was an accident. They did not know that he had been undefeated at WrestleMania. Go back and look at the documentaries. They was like, oh, somebody looked up and realized, hey, a fan who had a sign brought this to our attention. Like, oh, well, let's run with it. See, that's the beauty about WWE, and this is what I love. WWE listens to their fans because it's instant gratification. Don't believe me? They did a whole documentary on YouTube about it, about what happened when they made the changes to WrestleMania 2 years ago. Go check it out. They're not paying me for it. It's a fact. Here's the kicker, right? You have so much talent on the roster that I wouldn't want Triple H's job, because if you want to keep people engaged, 2 hours max is a good spot, and you're trying to cram so much into those 2 hours. I've been to multiple live events, right? When you go to Raw was 3 hours. That's if you're just watching it, right? If you're there for the regular show, most fans are going to show up. Raw starts at 7, ends at 10. Most folks were showing up at 4:00, 3 hours before. So you're taking out a chunk of your day to be there for almost 6 hours. Spending 6 hours with WWE on one day is a lot. I'm just going to tell you that. You're trying to hope to see some of the talent. You're trying to get an autograph, whatever the case may be. It's a lot. All right. Fast forward. You go to SmackDown. SmackDown was 2 hours. Once SmackDown goes off the air, if you're there in the stadium, there's at least 2 more matches that are going to happen for those people who are there to give you some fanfare. So if you know this, you know. That's a lot of, there's TV, and then there's what happens, and then don't forget the live events, right? To say, hey, let me try to, one thing that we don't like as WWE fans, we don't like when you try to force things down our throats, i.e. Roman, i.e. Austin Theory. When you try to force certain stuff down our throat, we don't like it, okay? We don't. Talk about black talent, okay? Let's talk Street Profits. Since I've started back watching wrestling, and when I say I started back watching wrestling, we're going to say 2017-ish, right? The Street Profits have been a known name synonymous with the tag team championship, right? Them, New Day, Black, Big E, that's 3 on the New Day. It's 2 on Street Profits. And then if you add B-Fab that they have now, if you add when they tried to put them with Bobby, listen, here's the kicker. Everybody can't be at the top. Everybody can't be at the top. Everybody, too many hard hitters, X, Y, and Z. You can't. I'm telling you from a fan watching great TV, you can't have all of these people at the top. It's gonna be like, it's not gonna seem genuine. You keep on trying to push. When they tried to turn the Street Profits heel, it did not work. The Street Profits are a fan favorite. Even the New Day, it took them disrespecting Big E in order for them to turn heel. They was trying to turn heel before, and I think that WWE recognized, hey, y'all are truly fan favorites, just like the Street Profits. The Street Profits are fan favorites. So even when they tried to go heel, go check it out. Montez Ford said it himself. We tried to turn heel, and they kept cheering for us. With Bobby, it did not work. Okay? It did not work, but the fans still love them. Street Profits are still on SmackDown. They're still, you can't watch SmackDown without seeing the Street Profits. They won. I was there when they won the championships in Fort Worth. I was there. They went nuts. People love them. Don't tell me that they're not pushing. They're not pushing their black talent. It's not that they're not pushing. It's the fact that, hey, we got a lot of people. We want to give the fans what they want to see. And we got to build these stories. And we got to keep you guys engaged. And we have a ton of more talent. So let's talk about Bobby for a second. How long has Bobby been wrestling? How long has he been on the professional stage, WWE, TNA, or wherever, Impact, wherever he went to? Bobby, listen, we get it. I think you guys wrestlers are going to have to rethink the way that they're getting out of the wrestling business. I'm going to be honest with you. 45, I think that's the cutoff. I think that's truly the cutoff. 45, you don't want to keep on wrestling until you're like 50, 60, or whatever the case may be. John freaking Cena said it himself. Hey, if my body wasn't telling me to stop, I would keep going. I want to keep going. But if I keep going, I'm taking time away from some of this younger talent that is there. I don't care what anybody say. Looking at NXT and looking at TNA, whatever that merger is going on over there, whatever they got going on over there, there's a ton of talent over there. There's a ton of talent over there. And that talent is going to find its way and shift its way to the main stage. But they're over there critiquing, right? Just like in any other sport that you play, you start with Pee-wee, then you go to junior high, then you go to high school, then you go to college, and then if you're good enough, you hit the professionals. But sometimes when you hit the professionals, you still need a little bit more development. And then that's where you go and you really work on your craft and you get yourself and you put yourself in a position. I've seen Trick Williams in more places and interacting with fans, and then that crossover with TNA, they're prepping him for when he hits the main roster. We know that they've brought people to the main roster, and we have yet to see them. Where's Igloff Dragunov? He made it to the main roster, disappeared. Indy Hartwell made it to the main roster, disappeared. I know they're not black. It doesn't matter. It's not a black or white thing. It's once you get here, do you have what it takes? Not only do you have what it takes, but how is the WWE universe going to receive you? How are they going to receive you? What's the best story that we can tell with the person that we're going to pull from NXT to pull them up and keep them visible? I know the whole deal is John Cena holds your hands up, points to you, lets you know that you're the next guy. You don't have to do that. It's like passing the torch. You don't really have to pass the torch. But if you feel like that's a thing in wrestling, then so be it. But the reality of this is that something has to happen. We have to not weed out, but we have to gracefully let these older folks who've been doing it for years go out on their own accord. But we don't want them to stay for too long. Take R-Truth, for example. R-Truth, greatest 24-hour champion ever. Greatest whatever you want. He is the greatest at what he does. R-Truth is forever cemented in my mind as one of my top 5 wrestlers of all time. He's just a great freaking entertainer. I love what he does. Even before he became this version of himself, even when early on, he's good. He's good at what he does. You gotta love him. I know some people are like, oh, well, they dropped the ball with Ricochet. No. Ricochet, when you're in the machine, you have to be patient. And if we're not moving fast enough for you, sure, go ahead and go over there. And I know some people, oh, well, you probably don't watch AEW. You know what? If I want to watch a train wreck, I'll watch AEW. I've sat here, I've watched AEW more than what I've wanted to. And I literally tried to sit through and watch AEW. When they made the acquirement of Jade Cargill, I held my opinions in and didn't come on my platform and talk about Jade Cargill. I believed that Jade Cargill was not ready at AEW, and because they wanted her because of her physique and the way that she's a beautiful woman. Let's put that out there. She's a beautiful woman. She's athletic. She's built, and that in itself was a draw. But when it comes down to the wrestling part, she wasn't ready. On the microphone, she's not that great. She still has to, do her thing. Like when you look at Stephanie Valkyria came and said, no, put me in NXT first. Then I'll work my way up to the main roster. People love her. People love her because she started. Julia, same thing. Put me on the NXT roster and then I'll work my way up to the main roster. Ethan Page, who is going to be a main roster person one day at WWE, if he decides to stay at WWE, he's going to be on the main roster. But he's perfecting his craft right now in NXT, and that's the beauty. That's the beauty. This is like, if you look at NXT as the minor league, then they over there crafting, because when they get to the big stage, right? Once they get to SmackDown or Raw, it is going to be crazy, because now you have to weed out some of these other folks out. Natty can't keep on doing it. The Usos and them, they're 40. They're about to be 40. Roman's already 40. He's on his way to go to Hollywood. AJ Styles should not still be in this thing right now, wrestling right now. I know he got to feed his family, but you guys have to, like, look at Brock. Brock took the WWE, took what he got from there, and made some investments outside of WWE, and he can sit on his damn farm and relax and chill. He got money, right? Guys have to do better with their money when they're getting it from WWE. You get to travel the world. This whole narrative of, ooh, they don't know what to do with black talent. Crazy. If you don't believe, here we go. I got to pull my phone out for this. I want y'all to know how much black talent is on the NXT roster right now. Idris Elba, Dion Lennox, okay, Jada Parker, Jasper Troy, Javon Evans, who is going to set the world on fire when he makes it to that main roster. That guy, I don't know what, you're going to call him our Javon in a minute. I promise you. Kalani Jordan, Lash Legend, who is this, Malik Blade, Lucian Price, Oba Femi, who is the NXT champion right now. Black man, come on, man, what are we talking about? Osiris Griffin, Saquon Sugars, Tavon Heights, the girl who just, Tyra May Steele, the girl, Olympic gold medalist, she's on NXT. Her and Tavon Heights doing their thing. Trick Williams, I already mentioned him, right? Okay. Tyson DuPont, Tyreek Eagle, they tag team. They the one with the Timberland boots. Wesley, who has been him, right? Speaking of him, god dang on Carmelo Hayes, who is on the main roster now, who is on SmackDown. Don't tell me that they don't know what they're doing with these. They're going to give them what they need, and they're going to help develop them. Booker T and Shawn Michaels are setting these folks up so that when they do make it to the main roster, they stay there. We don't want to see you get to the main roster and make a main exit real quick. That's not what they are about. They taking their time. Some people are moving up faster, like Roxanne Perez, like Tiffany Stratton, and they're having that big success. Stephanie Valkyria's on there now. Julia's up there now. Valkyria, that whole deal with her and Becky, they're moving up because some of the folks on the main roster, they getting ready to check out. They're getting ready to check out within the next couple of years, right? Let's go with Raw. AJ Styles has to be on his way out. Tozawa has to be on his way out. Asuka got to be on her way out. Becky Lynch and Bayley, how much more longer are they going to do this? Okay? Think about it. We have to replace these folks. Punk came back, but how long is Punk really going to stay around? Okay? Finn Balor, he's not a young man, ladies and gentlemen. Finn Balor is not a young man. Gunther is gonna be there for a while. We gonna say that for sure. Who else we got that's gonna be there for a while? We don't know what's gonna happen with Jay. Jay had a high. Jay may got about maybe 4 or 5 years left. Nobody, like they already said, they don't want to be wrestling when they're 50. Jimmy just had a damn date. Him and Naomi pregnant right now. We don't know what that's gonna. We don't know what that's gonna bring for him and Naomi. Naomi might come back and do a run for a year. I feel like the same. I feel like that's what's gonna happen with Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss may come back and do a 2-year run and be like, deuces, I'm done with this. Same thing. Like I say, they're getting older, right? Kofi Kingston, him and Xavier Woods, they've been at this for a long time. They have to make room for all of this talent that they're bringing our way, right? Who else? This is just, like I say, this is the main roster. Otis, we saw him show up in the AAA thing. If you guys didn't watch it, go watch it. That was very entertaining. AAA, you in WWE, I feel it. It's very entertaining. You're bringing people in like Penta, right? Rey Mysterio, Hall of Famer. He has to retire at some point, even though we already he got his WWE deal. He got his 2K WWE where he was on the front cover. He's a legend, man. He's a Hall of Famer. He doesn't have to free up that spot and give it to somebody else. Give it to some of this new talent, right? Seth Rollins, Sheamus. How much more longer can they do this, right? And that's just on that's just on Raw, right? Those people, you have to replace them, but you don't want to replace them with trash. We don't want to go back between 2009 and 2014 because, hey, it's a tough time for wrestling. That was a very tough time for wrestling. If you don't believe me, go look for yourself. I'm telling you something that you should already know. Who else? I'm going to move to the SmackDown roster and tell you who I think that should be on their way out. We're talking about Alexa Bliss, right? We're talking about Apollo Crews. People don't even know that he's on the roster, but he's still on the damn roster. Bianca got a couple of more years. Motor City Machine Guns, they only can do it for so long. Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest. Y'all are going to have to replace these people. Kevin Owens can only do this for so much more longer. We know what the deal. If you watched Cody's podcast, he has an issue with his neck, right? Nathan Frazier just came up from NXT, right? Nia Jax, right? R-Truth, Randy Orton, like I say, Roman, Sammy. Sammy's doing comedy, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if y'all don't know this, but Sammy's doing comedy. So there's that. Miz has gotten every damn championship, and the guy is great, okay, but he can move on. The Wyatt Six is only gonna be here for so much more longer too. You have to replace all of those people. There's a ton of black talent in NXT. There's a ton of black talent over in TNA. They're reworking these people to make sure that the WWE universe is going to embrace them once they get to the main roster, but then they still have to create storylines that is going to keep us, the universe, the WWE universe, intact with these folks, right? You heard them. I love the fact that the older wrestlers are speaking out. Like Mark Henry says, listen, the WWE universe chose Jey Uso. We chose him. And because when we choose a wrestler, they listen and they make that push. They do that. When they don't want to, with the exception of Roman, when they don't want them, they push, we push back. When we don't want something, we push back. It's simple. It's simple. And I know I'm passionate about what I'm saying. I just want everybody, because I know that the WWE universe hears this. I don't want people to be fooled. That's what I don't want. I don't want people to be fooled about that WWE does not know what to do with black talent. They have a lot on their plate. When you're the number one and you have to keep your fan base happy, and we know that a transition is coming, because it's better for wrestlers today. It's better for wrestlers today. Bianca's there. Naomi's there. She'll be back. I guarantee you she's going to be back. I feel like she's going to come back. She's going to do one final run, and then she's going to walk away. I do believe that. Same thing with Charlotte Flair. She's coming back. She's back right now. She's going to walk out on her own accord. That's going to open up a spot. Naomi's opening up a spot. If Bianca decides to have a baby, I feel like once Bianca decides to have a baby, I believe that she'll put wrestling down. herself as well. That'll be another spot. There are spots that WWE has to look 5 years in advance and say, hey, we got these stories and we're building these stories now. We're building these stories for the long term. We got to make sure that we got the talent in place. We got to make sure that their microphone skills are good. We got to make sure that their presence is good. We got to make sure that this and that. These older folks, Bobby, Swerve, all of these folks who's been doing it for 10 and 15 years already, listen, your time is there. If you still want to be around and you still want to be all up and be the number one champion and act like nobody else exists but you, AEW is the place for you. Rumor is Paul Ambrose is coming back to WWE. That storyline can ride Roman Reigns off into the sunset. I can see it right now. It'll be a 2-year storyline, or a year and a half, or 18-month storyline, and boom, Roman is done. Bloodline is going to do what they do, and then you can start incorporating and start replacing some of this other talent, some of this newer talent with the older talent, because the older talent is saying, hey, we stepping away. We're giving you guys, we left wrestling better than what we found it. We put y'all on this big stage. Now carry this torch on and keep it going for the WWE universe. I can see that. But what we can't do is just keep holding on. We can't be the gatekeepers. We can't be, with lack of better words to say, we can't keep our legends, the people that we fell in love with. I love Stone Cold Steve Austin. I never want to see Stone Cold Steve Austin in a ring again. I never want to see him. I never want to see Undertaker in a ring again. I never want to see Kurt Angle in the ring again. I never want to see Mark Henry fighting again. I wish the Hardy Boys would stop wrestling. I don't want to see the Dudleys in the ring again. They had their time. They're not going to be doing the things that they used to do. Take that knowledge, pass it on to the new talent. Make sure that they are sharp in the thing that they fell in love with. The thing that you fell in love with and the thing that I fell in love with is wrestling. Make sure that it keeps going. That's all I say. I'm not preaching. I'm telling you, I'm not preaching. I love wrestling. I really, really do. I just want the narrative to stop that WWE doesn't know what to do with its black talent. They have a ton of black talent. They're sharpening their skills. They will be on the main roster in the years to come. The Street Profits, when they make their split, and I know I'm saying a lot, when they go their separate ways, Montez Ford will be a United States champion. I guarantee it. He will make that Intercontinental Championship run, and I do think that he will fight for a main one of those heavyweight or that Universal title at some point in his career. If he sticks with it, he will do that. He's got some changes that he needs to make on his own, and I'll tell you about that in another show. But right now, what I'm going to do, just for this, because I don't want to feel like it's getting too long or feel like I'm getting preachy, but here we go. Musical selection coming up, and then I'll come back with the closeout, just like that. YouTube, y'all already know what it is. Everybody else, if you're listening on the DSPs, enjoy, and I will be right on back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Listen, the WWE ain't going nowhere. This is the closeout. Y'all already know how I get down over here. This is nerdy, and I'm gonna give it to you straight. Listen, I can talk days and days and days and days about the WWE and the talent and just the ideal of what goes into it. I love the fact that they're pulling the curtains back with their Netflix show. I love the fact that they're allowing the talent to talk more. I love the fact that they're showing us something that we never got a chance to see growing up. But at the same time, I can sit here objectively and pull myself out of the universe and say, that's a hard job that Triple H has. Trying to manage all of the talent and then trying to keep the talent. That's the part that I think a lot of people say, oh, well, they're making cuts here, they're making cuts there. Listen, this is a business at the end of the day. It is a business. Some people feel that their business may be better suited at a TNA. Some people may think that their business may be better suited at a AEW to feed their families, and they go over there and they get a little bit more money. But what quality of work are you sacrificing? I'm not saying that AEW, in my opinion, is the high school of wrestling right now. The whole deal with Tony Storm and Mercedes Moné. There's a reason why folks didn't take to Toni Storm after she tried to rebrand herself 3 different times, or maybe even 4 different times in WWE. It's a reason why they just didn't they didn't feel that. Look at Chelsea Green and where she came from, right? You can pull up wrestling videos today of her fighting Penta, and look at her now. Look at her now. She waited her time. She's like, yeah, I'll do this. I'll do this. She waited her time. And look, Chelsea's probably the biggest that she's ever been in her life. But check this out. I love Chelsea. It was organic. Her growing on me was organic. And I love her service. Okay? You get what I'm saying? Sometimes when it comes to wrestling, some things just have to grow organic. The people that you may love, some of them, you can love who you love. I love who I love as entertainers, but sometimes some people just don't grow on you. Some people just don't grow on the masses, right? And WWE, in a sense, they are people pleasers. They're going to give their universe, the people who are paying their money, they're going to give those people what they want, and that's all that you can ask from a business, right? Give them time to develop the people that you want to see. Give them time to develop and understand that there's going to be creative differences behind the scenes. We know that. We saw it happen with Hulk. We saw it happen with Punk. We saw it happen with Edge. We saw these things, or we heard about these things there behind the scenes where creative was not on the same page and people left. Same reason why Bray Wyatt left, if I'm not mistaken, is there was creative differences behind the scenes. So when we take a stop and we take a look at those things, it's one of those, it's one of those, oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of people that they have in place to make sure that we get the best show possible. Don't forget about the live shows, because the live shows, they still happen too. WWE has a lot of pressure, but they're also planning for the future. You wouldn't want this company to be at its biggest and then just disappear, because then you'll be like, what the hell happened? And then there'll be a ton of documentaries and ton of speculation videos on what really happened. They're building the talent. You just have to be patient. Just like the wrestlers and the talent have to be patient, ladies and gentlemen, we have to be patient. The WWE is going to satisfy the WWE universe by any means necessary. I promise you that. I believe that. Give it time. They have to find what's right for a person. Killer Cross, I know that they're going to find something for you once you guys sit down, talk about it, and when it makes sense, you'll be there. I promise you that. This whole notion that they don't know what to do with the black talent, I highly doubt that. I think that once the universe sees some of these talents, because not everybody watch NXT, but once they start seeing these folks and the more their name gets out there, we'll become in love with these folks and it'll take off. Just that simple. All right. Listen, I'm not keeping you for a long time. I'm keeping you for a good time. This has been That's Random, the podcast where we take a little time to explore the extraordinary and ordinary. I'm always going to be your guy, that guy, the one and only Nerdy G. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen,